Hey everyone, I want to quickly go over the whole process as far as like the renown system and why it's good to max it out, how I did it, what I wish I would have done. Pretty much like little mistakes I made here and there, which having the knowledge now, how I wish I would have handled it differently. So first things first, with the renown system, as you do certain activities, you get renown points, and then you check off these rewards for when you reach certain milestones. And then the biggest thing is skill points, potion capacity, skill point, oboes are whatever. But here's the really big thing right here is the 4 paragon points. That is a huge upgrade as far as like, possible amount of damage you can do or, additional stats. The skill points too are just as important. Potion capacity is nice too, but the main thing I want to say is skill points and paragon points. It's very huge because you get the same rewards from every region. So that ends up being total 20 paragon points, you know, um, 10 skill points. So that comes a long way. I want to say when I was early on in the process of leveling, this is actually what helped me like, going from real tier 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4. Just getting these bonus stats from not just the paragon points, but the skill points, as well as finding the altars, which that'll tie into this whole discussion in just a moment. But just getting the benefits from doing the renown helped me out tremendously as like for overall character building. So my character benefited a lot from just doing the renown. So as far as maxing out your renown, you see how it's maxed out, right? I have everything claimed in every region, right? But I didn't fully do everything. Like for example, in Fractured Peaks, I'm missing 6 side quests that I didn't do. There's 3 dungeons I didn't do, and that's like same for other areas. There's some stuff that I'm missing. So it shows you do not need to do every single thing here to be able to claim the maximum bonuses for each region. So keep that in mind. So it's not as terrible as it could be. It could be a lot worse. So one thing that I noticed, after doing this, what I wish I would have done earlier is I wish during my process as far as like campaign and all that, I wish I would have like used like Map Genie or even Max Roll, pretty much have a guide showing the locations of these early on as I'm going through the story, as I'm leveling and exploring and whatever. I wish I would have had a map because when I focused on clearing the story and then I did the altars after, and man, I would have saved myself so much time if I would have just got these out of the way while I was, doing the campaign and leveling. Because a lot of the places I visited, it was like in a hole in the wall area where I was close to at the time and trying to find on the map versus what I don't have already versus what I do have already. It honestly took like probably 2 times longer than it would have if I would have just found these altars along the way. Another thing I would say that I wish I would have done differently is after the altars, I started doing, the side dungeons I haven't done yet. So you can see for the most part, I have almost all of them done. Then I did side quests. The downside to this is I found a lot of the side dungeons that I would do, I would have to go back there later due to certain side quests or requirement of going into that dungeon when I could have saved so much time only doing that dungeon once by, targeting side quests along the way. The side quest would bring me to a dungeon that's not complete. So then all in one sitting, I'll get the 20 from the side quest and the 30 from the dungeon versus, how I did it. I did the dungeon, I got 30, then I had to do the dungeon again because of the side quest. So I just see it as like, time management, especially if you're someone that doesn't have the luxury of playing that much. If you're trying to optimize your time, that's the best way. And if you don't care, then you don't care, so be it. But just kind of give you my little opinion on how I wish I would have done it differently. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. What I would highly recommend, obviously, find all your waypoints. The strongholds are very important too. So do this along the way too. Claim every waypoint. Do your strongholds as you go about it. Do the altars, do your side quests along the way, and those will probably bring you to the side dungeons. That way, at the end, you could kind of, if you can't find any side quests around, then do a side dungeon. And who knows? Sometimes when you get by a side dungeon, a side quest marker pops up, and you can accept it. And it just overall, it just seems a little more fluid. It's more consistent that way. But yeah, that's just kind of what I wish I would have known earlier. Another thing, as far as if you're having difficulty clearing things, like as far as like going through mobs quickly or having trouble with bosses, you don't need to be at a very high difficulty. You could even drop it down all the way to real tier 1 if you like. You don't even need to go that low. If you want to drop it down, let's say if you're a wheelchair 3 and you're struggling, just drop it down to 2. Do whatever you want, but if you're trying to make your life a lot easier, just drop down the difficulty, because you don't get any extra points for your renown, no matter what the difficulty is, versus wheelchair 1 and wheelchair 4. It's going to be the same thing with the side quest rewards. It's going to be the same amount that you'll get. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to make your life a little easier. If you like the challenge, then so be it. Like I said, play how you want to play. Just giving my opinion on the matter. But yeah, that's all there is to it. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.